USB-C to HDMI and VGA. Let's check this adapter out. Dave Taylor here, and you know, I actually spend a fair amount of time sitting on the couch working while I have a television in front of me. Now, when I'm at home, that's easy, but when you're at a hotel or you're otherwise on the road, it gets tricky to get programming that's worth watching. Enter the HDMI adapter. So the idea is you hook your computer up via an HDMI cable to whatever TV you have access to, and it becomes a second screen. Now you can use it as a second monitor or something, but it's much more fun to use it for something like Netflix. Now, here's what I'm looking at. This is the Humix 2-in-1 USB-C to HDMI and VGA adapter. Well, that's the box. This is the adapter. So, on one end, USB-C, and then there's a nice thick cable, and then on the other end you have HDMI and VGA. Now, the HDMI clocks at 3840 by 2160, which is full 4K at 30 Hertz, and then the VGA side is 1920 by 1200 at 60 Hertz or 1080p HD at 60 Hertz. Now I have to be honest, I couldn't even find a VGA cable. I have hundreds of cables in our office. I have no more VGA cables at all. So I actually couldn't even test the VGA side. So we'll come back to that. But the HDMI side worked great. And it's super easy to work with. With my MacBook Pro, all I have to do is plug in the HDMI cable, plug this into my computer, and then the other end of the HDMI cable plugs into my television. Now, let's switch around and I'll just show you a couple of quick things on my big 50-inch Vizio 4K TV. Now, as you can see, Netflix looks just fine, and this is again via using the Humix USB-C to HDMI adapter. And then if I want to use it as a second monitor, here's a web page, obviously my site's homepage, and you click, everything's nice and fast. There is no reason you can't use this as a second screen or as the cable or adapter to utilize a second screen. So that works great. Can I test VGA? No. Is anyone using VGA at this point? I'm a little skeptical anyone's actually still using a VGA connector. That's kind of really old school back there from many years ago. But the adapter certainly works with that. So let me unplug it. So here's the thing, is that it has HDMI on one side and VGA on the other, but you can't use them both at the same time. So if you think, sweet, this would let me hook up two monitors, an old school VGA monitor and then something fancy with HDMI, doesn't work that way. This particular guy only lets you use one or the other, not both. Now, one of the things that Humix has done that's really nice with this is they put in triple shielding to make sure there's no interference from Wi-Fi or any other magnetic or electrical fields. You'll want to pair that with good quality HDMI cabling, because if you have a really, really cheap HDMI cable, that can actually add interference to the signal. Now, a lot of people might not even notice, but if you're looking and you're watching Netflix and things are just a little fuzzy or there's like noise on the signal or something, it's exactly what would cause that. So this is the Humix 2-in-1 USB-C to HDMI and VGA adapter. It is perfect for you hanging out at the hotel and plugging a cable into your TV and being able to have whatever the heck you want on the big screen while you're also working. I really genuinely do that a lot, actually. So it's really great to have one of these in your kit. This one works very well. It's very good at the price. I don't really need the VGA, so if I was in the market to buy one, I might look for one that doesn't include VGA, but it's not really costing you much of anything, particularly when you compare it with how much Apple charges. If you're using a MacBook or MacBook Pro with USB-C, holy cow, the Apple adapters are super expensive. This, as you will find in a moment, is considerably less expensive. Now, before I do tell you the price, let me ask if you can go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And if this is helpful, then thumbs up's always appreciated too. Great. Now, this Humix 2-in-1 USB-C to HDMI and VGA adapter is $19.99 at Amazon.com. That is a very fair price for a piece of technology like this. And if you're in the market for something like this, I encourage you to check this one out. It's Dave Taylor. I'm getting back to Netflix, which means I'll catch you in my next video.